as the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series! Bryant makes the play! It's over! And the Cubs have finally won it all!
Cubs fans waited a lifetime for moments like those. 108 years to be exact, as the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. Fans in Des Moines saw it coming years ago, from a front row seat to the rebuilding effort that started in the minor leagues. The 2016 Chicago Cubs postseason roster included these former Iowa Cubs: Albert Almora Jr., Jake Arrieta, Javi Baez, Kris Bryant, Trevor Cahill, Chris Coghlan, Wilson Contreras, Carl Edwards Jr., Dexter Fowler, Justin Grimm, Kyle Hendricks, Tommy La Stella, Miguel Montero, Anthony Rizzo, Addison Russell, Kyle Schwarber, Jorge Soler, Travis Wood, and Rob Zastryzny. The postseason connection showcased the partnership the Iowa Cubs and the Chicago Cubs have had since 1981. Last year alone, there were 26 players who played for both Iowa and Chicago, including 10 Major League rehabbers. The Iowa Cubs have always been a proud affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, but maybe even just a little bit prouder now. Fans, please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome Iowa Cubs broadcaster Randy Wayhofer, who will be our on-field MC as Iowa Cubs players and field staff receive their World Series rings. Randy?
Thank you, Rick. And thank you to everyone for ignoring the rain earlier today and coming out to join us on this special night. The rain could not stop the Cubs from beating the Indians in Game 7, and it will not stop us from celebrating here tonight either. Many of you will never forget where you were on November 2nd, 2016, when Kris Bryant's throw to Anthony Rizzo secured the final out to clinch a World Series title for the Chicago Cubs. Some of you may have even been right here at Principal Park watching the game up on the video board. In that moment, history was made, not only for the players and the coaches on the field and in the dugout that night in Cleveland, but for the entire Cubs family, including the scouts, coaches, trainers, and support staff, whose excellence in their job allow the players to reach their potential individually and as a team. Tonight, the Chicago Cubs have chosen to recognize and award World Series rings to the players, coaches, and support staff with the Iowa Cubs that played a part in the 2016 World Series Championship. Please give a warm Principal Park welcome to Chicago Cubs Director of Player Development, Jaron Madison, who will be presenting these rings tonight. Let's start with the players. First, warming up in the bullpen down the left field line, pitcher Aaron Brooks. Next is last night's starting pitcher Jake Buchanan, who earned a win for Chicago last September. Infielder Jeimer Candelario, who made his major league debut with the Cubs last July. Relief pitcher Felix Pena, who made his major league debut with the Cubs last August and pitched in 11 games for Chicago last year. A round of applause for pitcher Zach Rosscup, who has pitched in 61 career games with the Chicago Cubs. And pitcher Rob Zastryzny, who pitched in 8 games for Chicago last year and was on the active roster for the National League Championship Series against the Dodgers. Let's hear it for these players and their part in Chicago Cubs history. Now for the support staff and the coaches. First, clubhouse manager Steven Seipel. Team doctor Kyle Gallus. Team doctor Scott Meyer. Broadcaster Dean Ellis, recognized by the Cubs for 27 years in the organization. Video and advanced scouting coordinator Garrett Tolliver. A 3-year minor league player for the Cubs and now in his 2nd season as a coach, Carlos Ramirez. In his 6th season with the Cubs organization, athletic trainer Jonathan Fierro. In his 7th season with the Cubs organization and 2nd with the Iowa Cubs, athletic trainer Shane Nelson. In his 8th season with the Chicago Cubs and 4th in Iowa, helping the players get loose down the left field line, strength and conditioning coach Ryan Clausen. In his 2nd season, both with the Chicago Cubs and the Iowa Cubs, down in the bullpen, pitching coach Rod Nichols. In his 7th season with the Cubs organization, hitting coach Mariano Duncan. In his 10th season with the Cubs and 2nd with Iowa, hitting coach Desi Wilson. And in his 9th season with the Cubs and his 5th as the manager of your Iowa Cubs, manager Marty Peavy. Gentlemen, on behalf of the Iowa Cubs organization and Cubs fans all across Central Iowa, congratulations on being part of Major League Baseball history, and thank you for your work that brought so much joy to generations of people. Let's do this again next year.
Baseball